Hello everyone! Today we are going to be working on our Let's Get Real Newton's 3 Laws of Motion. So, this assignment should be a little bit self-explanatory, but just if you need a few little helpers. First thing, put your name on here, when it's due, and the hour that you have science class. So, what you're going to be doing is coming up with Newton's 3 Laws of Motion, how you can think of them. So, think of a great situation that's relevant to your life, and it's school appropriate. Have fun, use color, be creative. So here's our checklist. Have the name of the activity, sport at the top. Okay, I'm going to flip back and forth because it's all on the back here as well. So you need your name of the activity, the sport at the top. It's right there. Your name and hour. Oh, there's spot for it right up top there. State all three laws of Newton's laws of motion. Literally. What is the first law of motion? What is the second law of motion? What is the third law of motion? Like, literally write it out. Okay, so the first one, I'm not going to write it, but if you're listening because you watched the video, so an object at rest stays at rest. An object in motion stays in motion in a straight line unless acted upon by an outside force. You're going to write that. That's the longest one you're writing. The other two are pretty short. So then, an example picture of each law of how you are thinking about it. Make sure it looks nice and neat and tidy. You use some color. Yes, we expect it. At this time, you should have gotten some from the office if you didn't already have some. If you still need help getting these, please talk to your teacher. Effort is evident. You gave this a good effort. And then description to go with a picture of each law in its own time. So that's where our pictures to support and then description of these. So you're like, wait, what do you mean this description? What it means is these are all the ideas. So if you think back to when we talked about our rocket connection, we gave an example of how rockets and how they fly relate to Newton's first, second, and third law. That's what you're doing, but you're picking your own thing. So maybe you are into air hockey or foosball. Maybe you're into football. Maybe you're into basketball, volleyball, wrestling, skateboarding. We have a ton of things on here. Quidditch, if you want to have fun with this, right? Read over them, think of which one. If you have another idea, awesome. But then how can you see each of Newton's laws of motion in doing those activities? Now we do have on here, we had like a hunting one, or sometimes people ask like, can I do hunting? Okay, if you're doing hunting though, we want to make sure we're not, we're talking guns and deer and whatnot. Talk with your teacher about that if that's one you're thinking you're doing. That's why we didn't quite have it on here. It could be a possibility. A better one would be to look at archery. Okay, or we've got like fishing or ice fishing. So maybe lean towards one of those. Talk with your teacher though if you have another idea, if you're like, oh, I want to do this one. So then on the back, this is where you relate it. So I told you the first law of motion. So let's say I'm going to use an example. I'm going to do basketball. So our first law of motion, I could draw a picture and then write a description that says something to the fact of like, when I pass a ball to my teammate, it goes in a straight line, right? So that's what we're expecting. I would write that down. We've got some wording from that law of motion. Then when you do your second and third, so a picture to support the second law, a description of how that relates to the second law, same with the third. Okay, so kind of a little mini example. I don't want to leave this up tons because I don't want you to just copy off this person's great ideas, but here is like a teeny sneak peek at one. So they did something with swimming, okay, and they've got these pictures that go with it. You can kind of see on the sides that they've got some good writing on there, and they've used most of that space to describe it. That's what we're going to expect to see coming in. Here's another one. This person did some dancing. And for dancing, so they've got their pictures to go with it, and you can kind of see on the edges here that they've used that whole box to make sure they have all the information and give a really good detailed example of this. So please let your teacher know if you have any questions or if you need any help. These turn out really, really nice. And you might be like, Miss Morodic, I'm not good at drawing. Okay, people, you know my drawings are not all that great either, but I try. That's the big thing. You try. Effort is the big thing. You can draw stick figures, but they can be nice stick figures. Now, some of you are artists and you're like, psh, got this. Awesome. I can't wait to see it. Okay? So let your science teacher know if you have any questions. Otherwise, get to work. Have fun with this. I know I use the F word. Yeah, do have a little bit of fun with this. And have a great day. Bye, guys.